Hola, hola, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. Today I will be doing the Hindsight is 2020 book tag or reader tag, and this was created by Erin Go Read. I will link their channel down below. And the first question is, what were you like as an early and learning reader? I think I actually have a whole video where I talk about sort of my reading story or my reading history, which if I find, I'll link up above and down below. I think it was one of my very early ones, like 5 years ago. I don't really have memories of reading until I get to about the 4th or 5th grade. So around right before middle school is when I really started to read. I hid it because I thought I would get picked on for reading and for sort of being nerdy. So I remember I had this vivid memory of having one of the Harry Potter books, and I'm in gym class, and there's not really anything going on that day, so I don't really have to participate for grade or anything. So I go to a corner and I'm just sitting down reading the entire period, and as I'm walking back to to change back out of my gym clothes, I'm like hiding it, I think under my shirt or something, or hiding the cover at least, so people didn't see what I was doing and make fun of me. We had like pizza parties, so whoever, like, you got these reading logs, and the people who read the most would get a pizza party. And so around that time is when I remember starting to read a lot, and I read a lot of Junie B. Jones and a lot of those types of chapter books. I was also just learning English, so in reading, I think I was perhaps a little bit behind on the types of books that my age range would have been reading, especially with the type of classes that I was taking. But because I had just learned English, I was just taking it easy. I read a lot of the I went through a whole Mary Kate and Ashley phase, so I read some of her books as well. And then from then, I sort of lost it for a bit. And then in high school, I picked it up again, and I was more of a one at a time reader. I used the library a whole lot. So yeah, and then fast forward to 2015, and I got into BookTube, and this happens. Number 2, what book or book series really got you excited about reading as a kid? So Harry Potter for me it was one of the first memories that I have. I remember I started reading it out of order. I watched the first movie and I absolutely loved it, and I love anything to do with sort of witches and wizardry and magic and stuff like that. And then we were at a store and I saw it just said I just saw that it said Harry Potter. I didn't really think about the rest of the title or anything like that, but I got my mom to buy me the book, and it was actually the third one. It was Prisoner of Azkaban. So it's the first Harry Potter that I read, and it is to this day my favorite. I didn't notice on the spine that it said year 3, and I was a little bit confused, but then I sort of went then and read the 1 and 2, and then was caught up and read the rest of the series. So I started in book 3, and I read a lot of I think her name was Laurie Joan Nixon, something like that, and she did a lot of mysteries and thrillers for kids, middle grade kids. I never really got into any of the Goosebumps or anything like that, but I did a lot of Judy Blume, Junie B. Jones, and then like I said, the Olsen twin books as well. Has there been a person in your life, real or fictional, who inspired you to be a reader? My mom wasn't really as much of a reader as I was, but she did read, and she did always encourage it. So she would buy me the books that she knew that I really wanted. And I wasn't really a kid that got a lot of toys or anything like that, and that's not really what I ever wanted. I always wanted books, and so she would get me some every now and then, and so she always tried to support me in that as much as I can, even though we didn't really have money to spend so much on books. But I really appreciated every time that she did, and I was able to slowly start building a little collection. And then once I got to high school, which is when reading really became a thing that I just did all the time and loved, my English teacher that I had all 4 years of high school, her name is Miss Noel, or was Miss Noel. I think now it's Miss Chevalier. She might have gotten a divorce, but she was just such an awesome influence. She always had such an eloquent, lovely way of talking about books and making me be passionate about them. I still remember a little speech that she gave us about, so her favorite author is William Faulkner, and her favorite book of his is Absalom. And I remember her just telling us why it was her favorite, and she was from the South. I think she was born in Louisiana, so she has a very complex relationship with the South and its history, and sort of grappling with that, and still being very proud to be where she's from, and sort of all of that. And she was just talking about how it's so well encapsulated in this book, and it was moments like that that really always stuck with me. And it was in her class that I first read Pride and Prejudice, which to this day is my favorite book of all time. So yeah, she still follows me on Instagram and stuff. She likes my bookish posts, which I always appreciate. I don't know if she watches my videos. I don't think she does, but if you do, thank you very much, Miss Noel. You're awesome. And every now and then she'll comment, and you know, if I have a book that she's reading next, she'll let me know. Or she absolutely loves Tana French, so she's loved that I'm reading all of the Tana French books. So she's always been somebody that I have always associated with my love of reading, for sure. Number 4, at what point did you begin to identify as a reader? I would say probably around high school. That's when all like the Twilight, Hunger Games books were coming out, so I was reading a lot. That's when I started to read also, like, no, it wasn't then. It was, I think, like first year of college or something like that. The Deborah Harkness books, those like adult versions of Twilight, basically. There's a TV show they made into a TV show. I forget what they're called, like something Darkness. I don't remember. I'll put them here. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. But I was around that time that I really began to identify as a reader, and then I stopped for a long time. And I would read casually every now and then, but I still considered myself as someone who loved books and loved reading. And then one day, I think in Target, and I think it has obviously made me learn so much that I would not have otherwise. I hope that it makes me a more empathetic person, a more understanding person. I actively reach for stories and books that will widen my worldview and make me understand things that I might not have previously. I see books as ways in which we can cope, ways in which we can share, ways in which we can connect. And I always try to be as much an advocate for reading and for literacy as I can. And despite the fact that I don't have many people in my life who are readers themselves, the ones that are always go out of their way to tell me how much I inspire them to read more. The ones that don't but want to always also tell me that being around me or knowing me makes them want to read. I have friends who have never ever wanted to read and liked to read at all, but have bought a book regardless because I've talked to them about one that I thought they might like, even if they just gave it a try. And things like that always really made me so happy. And so yeah, I think it just has made me a happier person all around. I feel like I'm, even in times when I feel very lonely, I'm never 100% so, because I can deep dive into these stories and live other people's lives, and it's amazing. And recently it was a large part of the reason that I wanted to become a librarian. And I am at my last semester now. I'm about to finish in a couple months, and I can't wait to spend all of my time, you know, helping people matching people to books and doing reader's advisory and helping people research and understand how to find proper information. Those are all things that I'm very, very excited to do. And it all kind of, in some way, always goes back to my love of books and reading and stories. So. And then number 6, tag someone who's reading history you want to learn more about. I'm very nosy. I want to learn about everybody's reading history. If you think this is a cool tag, then feel yourself tagged and let me know if you do it so I can check it out. Thank you for watching and for listening. I love you all very much.